What's going on, guys? Welcome back. My name is Brandon. Today we've got a real fun project. I'm going to be TIG welding aluminum. Stick around. I have got this piece of scrap aluminum. It looks to be about 1/8 inch. I don't know what the composition of it is, but what I want to do is I want to make basically like a dustpan with a handle on it. Basically it's going to be like kind of like a pooper scooper, so you can have like a dustpan that would like go like this, then have a handle that goes straight up that you could hold on to, and then you could just, you know, when your dog goes to the bathroom, you can kind of scoop it into this and makes it real easy. And this is the welder that I'm going to be using, guys. If you are a regular to the channel, you'll know I just picked this up. It is a 250 amp AC/DC TIG welder from YesWelder. Well, the first video I posted, you guys said, well, geez, I checked out the specs. That's not a 250 amp welder. And I actually looked at the specs myself and said, wow, you're right. It's not, but I couldn't figure out why it would say that it goes to 250 on the screen, but it didn't say in the directions. It said in the specifications for the instructions, it was only rated for 160 amps. So I reached out to YesWelder and I asked them about this. They thanked me for catching it. So thank you guys. They have confirmed this is in fact a 250 amp AC/DC inverter welder. And like I said, this does go up to 250 amps. So like right now we're on AC TIG, and as you can see it maxes out at 250 amps, but when you switch over to the stick welding function, it maxes out at 200. The instructions that say it's only rated for 160 amps on AC TIG, those are incorrect. They're going to be fixing those according to the sales lady that I spoke with. With that out of the way, what I need to start doing is marking out my piece that I want to cut, and I think what I'm going to do is probably just use a regular dustpan kind of as a template. I'm just going to take some rough layout just by using this and just kind of get some basic measurements down on paper, so, or down onto the actual workpiece. Say 8 3/4. Sorry, it's all in just regular measurements, guys. I'll probably convert it over so you guys know what I'm doing here to metric. I think what I'll do is make a mark at, let's say, 2.5 inches. We'll just taper it, you know what I mean? Do the same thing over here, 2.5. We'll get it close, you know what I mean? Then something like, see how that looks. So that's kind of like the shape right here. We'll cut it out and maybe like take these cut off pieces and stand them up so it almost makes like sideboards out of it. And then we'll just put on a little back piece, and then we'll have to put on like a handle that goes up and down. So yeah, pretty slick, huh? So now I got it traced out. Now what I'm gonna do is just put a couple stops in my table, and all these are just a shoulder bolt that we made, that we just cut down basically and use them into our fabrication table. And if you want to see how I made this fabrication table and all the clamps or anything else, I'll put a link up above, but it just makes this type of work so much easier. So now I just bump the material into these stops, so when I'm cutting it, I don't have to worry about it sliding all around. And then I can just throw a clamp on it, just like that, and hold it down. There we go. That's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, you're going to want to get yourself a pair of safety glasses. These are the ones I use. Definitely want hearing protection because it's going to be loud. All I'm using is just a cordless saw, guys. It's just got a regular old carbide blade on it. So line it up, make the cut. And you can see that cut. This is nothing fancy, guys. That blade is the same blade that you'd cut wood with. that out, guys. These are going to go on something like this, to make up the sides. Now I just got to do the back. So for that, I'm just going to hold this up here. We'll make a little scribe mark using my scribe. Yep, that looks pretty good right there. I'll put a speed square on it. Okay. We'll cut that off there. You can see now I'm using just a different type of clamp. So there's that. Now we just need the height, which is this. So that's going to go just like that. So we'll make that height this height. Which is right there. And right there. I'll put an X so I know that that's the piece I throw away. So there, we got all our pieces cut. And for those of you that are gonna say, well, you know, you could go out and buy one of those things that you're trying to build for 99 cents or whatever. Yeah, I know, I get it. I get it. And if that's what you guys like to do for your welding project, is buy one of these, then be my guest, buy it away. But I'm just looking to practice. I'm looking to build one. I'm looking to practice and, you know, get the experience, because it's been at least 10 years since I've struck an arc on aluminum, and I really, you know, it's not like riding a bicycle. You gotta keep practicing. It's a skill that's perishable if you don't stay up on it. So that's what I'm looking to do. But yeah, I could go out and buy one of these probably for 99 cents at the dollar store. This is exactly what I'm looking to build. You know, then you just kind of take your dog waste, shovel it in, then throw it in the trash. But yeah, I'm looking to build one out of aluminum. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wipe everything down with some acetone. Get everything cleaned up, I'm looking good. And then we'll get everything tacked up. And I'll tell you guys, I am not an aluminum TIG welder. The last video I did, or one of the last videos I did, was the first time I had struck an arc in over 10 years. And it was actually the first time I have ever used an inverter machine to weld aluminum. So a lot of this, you know, the frequency and all that, that's all new stuff to me that I am not used to. But I'm getting the hang of it. I think in the long run, maybe all these features are easier to use, but right now they're a little more complicated than, they're making things, I think, a little more complicated for me. All right, so here is some setup stuff, guys. So for the frequency, I'm at 80. I was like messing around with it on 60, just because that's kind of like the old transformer style, and that's the last time I welded aluminum that was on. Let's go to 120 amps, and I'm on a foot pedal. So 80 hertz AC balance at 40. I've been messing around with it between 35 and 40. And 40 seems to be kind of like okay. No downslope. That's the stop amperage, which is 25. So it kind of like, that's when it stops and tapers off. It just drops off to 25. 5 seconds of gas flow. That's the tungsten size. That's post flow, which is 7/10 of a second. And 25 starting amps, no upslope. I am extremely rusty, guys. Feels like I'm learning how to weld all over again. Gaining, guys. We'll tack over here maybe. Feels like I could turn up my amps just a little bit. Just because I'm on the edge. The edge here, I'm like at 90. Actually, I'm just going to leave it. It's working, so I don't want to go pushing my luck. There we go. This pedal's taking some getting used to. I'm not really that accustomed to it. Yeah, I need just a little bit more amperage. Let's try 95. Well, so far, guys, our pooper scooper is coming out pretty darn good. If I can keep it that way, wouldn't that be something? Oh, and then what I'm going to do, we're going to have to weld. So this is just basically like a coupling for conduit. So because we're not going to be able to weld the coupling to the aluminum, what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this to just like a flat piece of plate. And then we'll bolt that little tiny flat piece of plate right on like that. And then it'll just have a little wooden handle. So simple, easy peasy. I got to trim this just a little. So I don't want any big gaps, you know. Looks like right about there. Probably hard for you to see, but I'll put a highlighted mark on there. Right. Come on. Right there. Then I'll just bring this over to my portable bandsaw and we'll cut that. This is my bandsaw table that I built. If you guys want to see how I built this, I'll put a link to the video. You guys can check it out. But this is pretty handy. Bunch of you guys have been asking about the dimensions, and I'll get those up here real soon. Wipe her down with some acetone and we'll tack it up. All right, that seems to be fitting pretty good right there. All right, just get a little blast tack on this thing. Okay. Looks pretty good. Get another one right over here. Well, there, so that's kind of the basic shape, guys, of what we're building. And now I'm just going to kind of like practice my skills, mess with some different settings to see if I can try to master this. But yeah, so far so good. I think that that was probably the easiest part of all of this, but you can kind of see how that's going to work now, right? So then this will have, like I said, this will have this little coupling right here. There'll just be a little, basically like a broom handle that sticks into this, so you can just kind of like walk along and, you know, sweep up the stuff and throw it in the trash. So pretty neat, huh? So yeah, but this is more for, like I said, just for me to brush up on my skills and you know, just try to get better, you know. So yeah. All right, guys, I've made a hellacious mess trying to practice here, but there is good news to failure. Hopefully you learn from failure. And as you can see, I think I kind of got it figured out. And what happened here is I didn't let out of the amperage enough at the very end, but I think I'm starting to get it. But yeah, there's definitely a learning curve. All this black and stuff tells me I haven't cleaned it good. So I'm going to wire brush this down and do a better job. But you can see that I think I'm starting to get the hang of it, because that's in through here kind of looks how I want it to. So I'm gaining, but you know, it's a work in progress. This isn't easy. It's been over 10 years that I've done any welding, like I said, on aluminum. And the last time I did it, it's probably been more than that. It's probably been more like 15. And the last time I did it was on a transformer. So this is literally the second time in my entire 50 years on this planet that I have ever TIG welded aluminum with an inverter welder. But yeah, I think I'm liking it. It's just a different learning curve, for sure. All right, I'm gaining. I don't know what's happened on the backside, but I don't know if I got a piece of filler metal that's not right or something. I don't know. This seems to be doing pretty good now. Got a little hot there. Look, burned through on the end. So let's see, how can we fix that? That doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but if I try to fill that in, if I put a metal backer behind it, like that maybe. See what that does. Kind of like when it started going around in a circle. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This doesn't look too bad. I mean, especially from like here to here, I'm okay with that. But everywhere else, geez, I couldn't even get the filler rod to run. And this is 4043. I don't know what the other stuff. What was I running? What did I do? Grab something wrong? Oh, that's why. I was using 308. Now I feel a little foolish. So this is 4043, and I must have picked up the wrong piece of filler wire out of my rack, because look at this hellacious mess. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it to go. It kept sooting up. So that to that, and I think that looks okay right there. Like I say, this isn't a tutorial on how to weld aluminum. This is me practicing on welding it. All right, so let's see where we're at for settings right now. So we're at 125 amps on the pedal, 60 hertz, and AC balance of 38. I think the AC balance is good. Let's try 100 on the hertz. Let's see. It's gonna be a lot more high frequency. So guys, I can't get over it. I've been messing with this for longer than I would probably care to share with you, and only to find out that I grabbed a piece of stainless steel TIG wire when I needed to be welding with aluminum TIG wire, and no wonder it wouldn't flow. I'm just kind of totally discouraged. So this like really nice piece right here where it looks really nice, that's obviously a piece of aluminum. But then I've got all this trash. I couldn't figure out, why does all this trash keep coming up? I was watching videos and Trying to figure out why my filler metal kept all balling up, and yeah, that's why, because I'm trying to add stainless steel filler metal to aluminum. Jesus. Unreal. Well, it should weld up a lot easier now. I wish I mean, I've been adjusting everything because, you know, AC balance and the frequency and all of that. I mean, 60 hertz, it used to just be locked in on a transformer machine. You didn't mess with anything else. You got what you got, and you made do with what it was. And, you know, I'm thinking maybe I'm doing something wrong, and anyways. So, yeah, it is what it is. But, yeah, all in all, it didn't come out too bad. I mean, considering... Is there any more places I can, like, try to weld, or have I welded it all? I pretty much welded everywhere I can now. I mean, that's got stainless steel in it, and... I don't know, maybe we could do it on the inside? I don't know. See how that'll... that's not going to work, because look at all the garbage. All that stainless steel dripping down on the inside, that's not going to work. So... live and learn, guys. So, yeah, live and learn. Yeah, now look real nice, huh? Couldn't figure out why it kept blowing out. Stainless steel filler does not work that well with aluminum. So this is how it happened, guys. I put all my filler rod like strapped right to the side of my tank, and when I use a rod, a partial one, I just take and throw it down into this, and then it just kind of lives there until I need it again. Well, because I don't do a whole lot of aluminum, and it's been forever since I've done it, the last little piece I experimented with was 4043, and I just dropped it down in here like I normally do. Well, I obviously had a piece of 308L in there. Not knowing any better, I just picked it up. Well, because I don't do aluminum a lot, they both look very similar in color. 4043 is a lot lighter in weight than 308L. But like I said, because I don't do aluminum a lot, I didn't really think anything of it. I just grabbed the wire that looked like aluminum and started trying to weld with it. And it was 308L, and that's what happened. So, simple mistake. I kind of ruined the project, but, you know, it's to pick up dog poop. It should work. And although it'll work and it'll do what we intend it to do, I mean, that looks okay. Don't look at anything else other than that little piece there. That looks okay. That looks horrible. And that looks horrible. And that looks like I'm trying to learn how to do it. So, yeah, it'll work. It's just not pretty, and it is what it is. But you know what, guys? It's learning. And, you know, although this is embarrassing that I went and did this, I'm not proud. I'm not so proud that I can't show you that I'm a human too, and we all make mistakes. So, not wanting to waste this learning experience, we're gonna make lemonade out of lemons, and we are gonna continue on with this because, like I said, all I just got to do is pick up dog poop, and the way this looks, it's probably pretty fitting. That's all we're going to be doing with it. But to do that, we can't weld this directly to aluminum. So what we'll do is we'll weld this to a piece of steel, then we'll put a couple holes in the piece of steel, then we'll bolt that to this. Makes sense. So that will hitch onto that, and we'll have to put a little hole in there. So let's do that now. I've already taken more time on this than I'd want, so we're just gonna poke a hole in it, call it a day. That looks pretty close right there. That look pretty even to you? All right, guys, if you haven't seen this video, I know I keep plugging videos and stuff, but if you haven't seen this video, go ahead and check it out. I picked this up off Facebook Marketplace, and it was an old drill stand that had a blown up motor, and I just welded a 5/8 plate to it and mounted a mag drill on it, and this thing works awesome. Yeah, this thing works really good, guys. I've always wanted a nice heavy-duty drill press that can serve like double duty, that can bore really big holes, run annular cutters, run hole saws, and also be portable. And this does all of it. I literally just turn off the magnet, take off this little safety strap, and walk away with it. And yeah, works really slick. I love it. It's all prepped up, and what I've done is I've just ground this plate a little bit just to make sure it's clean. And I don't know what this is. A lot of couplings that are like this, threaded couplings, they're actually made, they actually have a galvanized coating on them. And do not weld on galvanized coating. Make sure you grind it off. It's very hazardous to your health. It's very bad for you. So I've ground all that coating off, and now I'm just going to clamp it down to my bench, throw a quick tack on it, and get done with this project because I'm already overly disgusted with it. So I got it turned on. I got my gas on. I don't even know what it's set at. What's it set at? 105 thousandths. 125 would be 8, so call it that. All right, let's try this. Yeah, see how that puffs up like that? That weird looking smoke? That's what galvanized does. And I'm putting on a respirator, guys, because it's wicked bad for you. And I'm going to turn on my ventilation. A little bit of Loctite on it. Yeah. Now we just got to put one more hole in the back so that when we put that dowel down through, that we can just put a screw in it, and that screw will keep the dowel in it. Yeah. There it is. Let's go get the pole for this and try it out. So this is the handle that I was telling you guys about. Basically, it's just well, it's like a broom handle. And I had to shave it down just a little bit to get it inside of this coupling. And hopefully I'm just going to rotate it and get it to thread in, then we'll pin it. There it is. All right. So it's threaded in the whole way. As you can see, it goes all the way to the bottom. Probably not necessary to put that other screw in there, but I'm just going to do it just because we have seasonal changes here as far as, like, you know, the weather. So this expands and contracts, and then eventually it's going to loosen up. So we'll pre-drill it and we'll sink that right in there. Let's see. Let's go probably that one. Yeah, a little too big. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, there it is, guys. That's it. That's simple. And you know, guys, this wasn't a complete failure, like I said. It's got some good points to it. It's got some bad points to it. But at the end of the day, there's a learning lesson. This doesn't look too bad in through here. This isn't overly great. This is kind of like where my hand was real shaky and I wasn't comfortable. This is where I'm continually trying to add stainless steel filler metal to a material that won't accept it. This is where I'd obviously picked up an actual piece of aluminum that I had on the table and actually welded that. That actually came out pretty good. Again, trying to weld stainless steel to aluminum, that doesn't work. And then this using 4043 filler, still trying to get my hand down. But I think I would have done a lot better job if I hadn't had all the prior problems leading up to it. It just kind of, I just wasn't in the mood. I was kind of done with it at that point. I just wanted to get it over with. So I wasn't overly taking my time or trying to do a nice job. Live and learn, right? You know, guys, I can't help but think that how appropriate is it for a tool that came out looking like this to actually be used for what it actually looks like. It looks like shit, and I'm using it to pick up shit. And that's all there is to it, guys. New videos every Friday, and I try to take away with everything I do a lesson to it or a point, or at least learn by it. And I'm not proud to say that I make mistakes just like everybody else. We all make mistakes, and the key to making mistakes in life, whether it's in welding or anything else, is to learn from it, move on, and not repeat it. I will be much more careful how I store my old used TIG rods in the near future, and I won't be making that mistake again, that's for sure. Until next week, guys, I will see you then. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Till then, guys, take care. See ya.